Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Botany Educator, and in my earlier video I have talked about ascospores which are found in fruiting body. Ascomycotis members form a fruiting body that's known as sec fungi, in which sexual spores are found known as ascospores. If we talk about its occurrence, it's found in soil, dung and marine and fresh water. Few species are pathogenic, while most of its species found growing on the dead and plant and waste animal products known as saprophytic fungi. Right now, if we talk of its journal characters, the simplest form is yeast. Those yeast are unicellular in nature, while most of its members are multicellular. Branch and septate type means uh, the septa is formed in between the uh, fungi hyphae, right? So in this diagram also you can see is an enlarged view in which you will find a septa in between the hyphae. This septa, if we talk of this line, the septa is a cross wall between the two cells, right? It's a cross wall which is present between the two cells, in which a simple pore is present for the cytoplasmic passage in between the adjacent cells. So for the cytoplasmic passage you will find a simple pore, right? So simple pore is found for the cytoplasmic uh, passage in between the cells, right? So this type of the movement we will found in the vegetative structure, right? Then in the outer wall, if you want to talk of its cell wall, it's in the yeast, it's known as it's made up of leucine and mannan, while in the higher type, in the most of its higher members, it's made up of chitin and glucane. So we have to study about its vegetative structure, its simple pore, and its cell wall, right? So you have to remember about what's the difference between the yeast and the most of its higher member. Only the yeast is the simplest unicellular form, while all the higher members are multicellular, branch and septate type, in which a simple pore will be present for the cytoplasmic passage, right? Now if we talk its reproduction, it reproduces sexually, and asexual reproduction it also takes place. So asexual reproduction, conidia and chlamydospores are formed, and in the yeast you will find fragmentation, budding and fission also, right? So this type of asexual reproduction you will find in the Ascomycetes member. Now sexual reproduction, you will find that the hyphae can be homothallic or heterothallic. What do you mean by homothallic? Means the fungus hyphae are self-fertile, means the two hyphae of the same fungus can fertilize with each other, while in heterothallic fungi the same hyphae can't fertilize itself. It's a self-sterile in nature. So the opposite mating type you can see in the higher members. You'll find that the opposite mating type, the plus strain and minus strain, will be there for the fertilization. So homothallic and heterothallic members are found. So how they reproduce? In the yeast, which is a very simpler form, gametangial copulation takes place, which we have talked of in mucor and rhizopus also, in which the two gametangia found, and the gametangia come closer, and the and the um, and the gametangia come closer, and the positive and minus strains come closer, and you will see that uh, a fertilization takes place in this type of fungi. And then in we talk of higher fungi, then Aspergillus mycelium, you will find a fertilization tube is there for the movement of the male gamete to the female structure. So this is an antheridium. through which the anthrozoids will pass on to the oogonium where the egg is present and the fertilization will take place. Then spermatization, and 3D is generally absent, means the specialized structure is present and 3D is not formed. A specialized structure is formed that is known as spermatia. These spermatia come closer to the female reproductive organ in which a receptive hyphae is present, known as trichogyne. Come closer to the trichogyne. If this trichogyne is present in the female reproductive organ, right? And then the fertilization takes place. This spermatization takes place in the neurospora and puccinia, right? You have to just remember the names as we will study later in the Ascomycetes. We will discuss about yeast, aspergillus, puccinia. In that, I will tell you more in detail about the subject, right? So then this in through this diagram we can understand how this reproduction takes place. Then somatogamy, in this no sexual structures form. The vegetative structures behave as a sexual structures, and these come closer and fertilization takes place. This type of reproduction occur in Pezziza and Mosela, right? So in the Ascomycetes member, if we talk of the sexual reproduction, two main steps occur: plasmogamy and karyogamy. In plasmogamy, fusion of cytoplasm takes, and in karyogamy, fusion of nuclei takes place, right? And between these two phases, a phase occurs known as dikaryon phase, in which two nuclei come closer but doesn't fuse. N plus N stage is known as dikaryon. Means karyon means nuclei and di means two. Means two nuclei will stay together, and between these two phases, a phase occurs known as dikaryon phase, in which two nuclei come closer but doesn't fuse. N plus N stage is known as dikaryon. Means karyon means nuclei and di means two. Means two nuclei will stay together is known as dikaryon stage. And after this dikaryon stage, a fruiting body means a structure in which spores are formed. So this fruiting body is known as ascocarp, right? In ascocarp, ascus mother cell will be formed, and in this ascus mother cell, nuclear fusion will take place and diploid structure will be formed. And as we know that the spores are haploid in nature, so meiosis will take place and four haploid nuclei formed. And after this four haploid nuclei formation, mitosis occur and 8 haploid daughter nuclei form, which is known as ascospores, right? So this type of structure is formed in the structure. So plasmogamy, fusion of cytoplasm occur. So after the fusion of the cytoplasm, karyogamy occur, in which fusion of nuclei takes place. But between the plasmogamy and N plus stage is there, right? And in the dikaryotic stage, fruiting body ascocarp is formed, right? After the ascocarp formation, fusion of nuclei takes place, and the fusion of the nuclei, the diploid stage form. And in the diploid stage, you will find that the ascus mother cells are formed in the ascocarp. This is the ascocarp structure. This in this you will find the outer wall. This is the inner wall. This is ascus, right? In this ascus, in the starting, ascus mother cell is formed, right? In the ascus mother cell, you will find that the two nuclei come close and fuse, and through the meiosis, this spore producing structure are formed, in which after meiosis and mitosis, 8 ascospores are formed. So this kind of fruiting body is formed, right? So in the next video we will talk of uh, uh, types of fruiting bodies, right? So stay tuned to the channel, and if you have liked the video, please notify me, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it.